Well, thank you for joining me on this question. We're going to look at three of these equations, and we need to find the rule of the equation of three of these. And previous session we've done A, B, and C. So this session I'm going to look at line D, line E, and line F. So let's have a look at line D firstly. And for this line we need a gradient and a point. And so let's do the gradient. The gradient, it goes from the origin and then it goes through this point up here at 816. And so what we can do is get delta y over delta x. And how far does it go up and how far does it go across the rise over run? Now I'm going to just get a little thin line and from this point I'm going to, that's too wide, I'm going to go really thin. Okay. Oh, that's still too wide. Oh my goodness. So let's try again. Okay. That's good. So we go rise. It goes up 16. So delta y is 16. And let's see how far it goes across. We still got thin, yes. And go across to D. And it goes across to 816. So delta x is 8. Goes across 8. So it went up 16, across 8 between those 2 points on line D. So therefore delta x is 8 and delta x is 8, up 16 across 8. Now 16 divided by 8 is 2. That has a gradient of 2. So the line for D has a gradient of 2, which means it goes up 2 across 1, up 2 across 1, up 2 across 1. Let's have a look at a point on the line. The point that we've got is in fact where it crosses the y-axis. So therefore we've got a C point where it crosses the y-axis. So we call that C is equal to 0. And we can substitute straight away into the formula y equals mx plus c. Therefore, the equation is y equals 2x plus 0. And so y equals 2x is the equation for line D. So let's put, what we can do is write in very thin letters. Let's go thin. Y equals, well, let's use black. Y equals 2x, and that's the line for line D. And yes, there's an arrow at the end. That's an arrow. Okay. Let's look at E. And first of all, we want a gradient, and if we can find a point on the line, and the gradient for C, let's use a red highlight for this one, and E, we're going to use this point and this point at this point and this point at 4, 4. So we're going to go up 4 and across 4 to that point. So our delta y is up 4, our delta x is across 4. So we can put gradient delta y over delta x, 4 over 4. It's got a gradient of 1. So this has a gradient of 1. And the point on that line is it's crossing the y-axis at 0. So because it's crossing the y-axis, we'll call that the C value, where it crosses the y-axis. And then we could substitute these values into y equals mx plus c, and we leave the y and the x because that's our equation. And we substitute the m to be 1 and the c is 0. So therefore the equation is y equals 1x plus 0, or simply y equals x line. That's E, and now for F. We need a gradient and a point. Now the gradient for F, we're going to find these 2 points. We'll use this point down here. Let's make that yellow. We'll use this point down here and this point at 5, 0. So we'll get, use a blue highlight here for the gradient. We're going to go from this point up 5, across 5. So delta y equals up 5, delta x is across 5, so the gradient delta y over delta x is 5 over 5, which equals to 1. And any point on that graph, let's find the point. We've got it where it crosses the y-axis, so that's our c value. It crosses the y-axis at -5, and then we can substitute that into our formula. Y equals mx plus c. We replace the m with 1, we replace the c with -5, so we've got y equals 1x plus -5, or x minus 5. And there we have 3 equations. I hope this has helped. Until next time, stay happy.